Hello, my name is Anthony Morones,
And my name is Destiny Sanchez.
soon to be Destiny Morones,
And this is baby Lila.
and this is our love story. So, how long have we been dating? We've been dating for 4 years. Got that right, 4 years. It started, it's not your, I was walking through the grocery store and I seen her in the corner of my eye. This is more 21st century. It was actually on Instagram. Yay, so romantic. Yeah, it was on Instagram. And I remember I posted a picture of myself. And I was like, I thought it looked good. I posted a picture of myself and someone liked it. And I was like, who the heck is this? I looked at the account and the only thing it said was, do not follow back. What did it say?
Don't follow me.
Don't follow me. And I was like, who the heck is this person? It said, don't follow me. So what did I do? I followed it. I was like, all right, let me see if it follows me back or allows me to the account. Like, what the heck is this? And sure enough, it was Destiny. Destiny's account. And yeah, I thought she was super beautiful. I thought she was so pretty. And I was like, I gotta get to know this girl. So I messaged her and said, what'd I say? Where have you been all my life?
Yeah,
I
you said something
corny. The corniest thing I could have said, but it worked. I was able to get a hiking date out of it. And that day was pretty crazy. I remember
It started raining.
it was raining. Yeah. So it was like a Saturday morning. And I told her I'm a morning bird. Like I like waking up early and all that. So it was like 8 a.m. I was like, okay, we'll go hiking at 8 a.m. I just got off of work. So like I go to bed like really early. I set my alarm, like all this stuff. And 8 o'clock comes around and I'm up and I'm ready. Got my hiking gear on. And I message this account and they don't reply. And I was like, did I just get stood up and wake up 5 hours like for nothing? I only slept 5 hours because I just got off of work. And I messaged it again and I said, you really made me lose my sleep. And I went back to bed pretty upset. And as I'm dozing off, counting the sheep, it replies. The account replies. The mysterious account replies. And it says, sorry, I just woke up. You could come in 10 minutes. So I ended up driving over there. I think I got confused on the houses or something. Mm-hmm. And then she was out there. First impression was that you're really short. Like she's so short. Wow.
I'm 4'11".
Yeah, and I'm 5'11". And yeah, we just got in the car and started talking, and it was just super comfortable, super natural. Kind of how it is right now. I'm doing a lot of the talking. I have a big mouth, so I'm gonna try to let her take it away a little bit.
Yeah, I was really quiet and he was just talking a lot and he really broke me out of my shell though. He made me feel really comfortable and we just talked.
Yeah. She gets nervous. So anyways, we go hiking. It's a good hike. And it starts raining. And I remember I asked her, how come you didn't bring a sweater? It was like cloudy that day. She's like, oh, I don't know. I forgot. So I think I had a sweatshirt. I don't think I didn't have like a shirt on or something. So I had to take my shirt off like Baywatch, take my shirt off and give it to her. I think she planned this.
I swear.
Yeah, so I was shirtless like the first time we met. And yeah, that was it. We just hung out. I think there was like a party later that night. I invited her to.
Well, we went out to In-N-Out afterwards.
Went to In-N-Out. And then I said, hey, my friend's throwing a party if you want to come. And she said, oh, I don't do parties. I'm not out there like that. And I said, oh, okay. So party comes around. She's not coming. And then I get a text message saying, hey, my friends want to go out. So can you send me that address again? I was like, well, she doesn't want to see me, but her friends want to go out and party, so they're just going to use the party. So I was like, sure, you could come. And as she's on her way, me and my buddies, I think it was his 21st birthday. Chava, if you're seeing this is your party. Me and my buddies were, setting up the party. I'm telling everyone, hey, my wife's coming. My wife is going to be here. I don't know why I said that. I still look back and I'm like, that is so crazy that I said that. But I told everyone, my wife's coming. She's off limits. No one could talk to her. I was already like overprotective guy. And she got there and we talked and we kicked it off. And I remember her friends were like urging us to like take a shot together and drink together. I think she was just drinking beer. She doesn't even drink beer now. She was just cracking Bud Lights open, kicking it back. And yeah, it was cool, After that, we just started hanging out more and more. stuff started progressing, started going on dates and stuff like that. And then this is crazy. This is when we get into the craziness.
Oh God.
We tell this story to everybody that when we're out drinking or it's like a night out, we always tell this story because everyone asks us, oh, how do you guys meet? How do you guys get close? All that stuff. So here it is. Craziest story you guys ever had. So we were night drinking Saturday night. We both work Sunday morning. We both call out. If you guys are seeing this, my job, don't fire me. This was years ago. We called out of work, both of us. And we're day drinking now. And one of those, it just prolongs, one of those days. This doesn't happen all the time. And we're day drinking, and we're kind of, talking back and forth, and we're talking about roller coasters came up. And we're talking about oh yeah, well, we haven't gone on a roller coaster date. We haven't done this. And then I look up roller coasters, and I don't know why, the Santa Monica Pier pulls up on the Google search. And it said it's open. And mind you, we're in Bakersfield, so Santa Monica's open. It was
it closed at 1.
Yeah, and it was 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
No, it was 10.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's 10 o'clock at night, and we're just excited youngsters, just we're crazy. I'm not gonna lie, we were crazy. And
I was 18.
Yeah.
At the time.
And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go. Let's do it. So we get in my car and we go to Santa Monica.
I drove. I barely knew how to drive.
Yeah, she barely knew how to drive. I let her drive my precious car. And yeah, we drive to Santa Monica, and we are driving over there, blasting music, just having the time of our lives. And we're like, we're going to get on this roller coaster because we said we were going to get on this roller coaster. It's going to be a fun day. We're going to remember it forever. So we go, and the pier is completely empty. There's no one in sight, and we're just like, what did we do? So now we have to go all the way back, and it was okay. We were like, you know what? This is us. This is adventures we do, we take wrong turns sometimes, and it was okay. So we're sitting down on if you guys ever been to Santa Monica, there's the steps right next to the roller coaster. There's those steps leading up from the beach.
Yeah, it's the sand.
The sand, from the sand. And we're sitting on the steps, and she has to text her mom because she was living at her mom's at the time.
And I didn't tell her.
And she didn't tell her. Yeah, she didn't tell her she was going out of town with this crazy guy. And so she's texting her mom. We're sitting down on the benches, and she's texting her mom, and I'm sitting right next to her.
On the steps.
On the steps. Yeah, the steps. Sorry, not the benches. So we're on the steps, and there's the railing right here, and I see six people. And they're these cholo guys, and he's looking at me all crazy. And I've seen this look before. Mama. She doesn't like the story because she gets scared of her parents. I know we were crazy, Mama. And I seen this look before. This guy wanted to fight. He wanted to fight me, and I was drinking the whole day. I was not in the best shape to fight. Anyways, this guy's looking at me from up here. We're sitting on the steps. She's texting her mom, and I could already catch it. So we're sitting on the steps, and they come around us, and it's almost what was it, 3 in the front, 2 on the side, 2 behind us. We just get surrounded. We get surrounded by these people. And I'm just okay, this guy, I thought he was going to say, you're looking at my girl wrong, or I don't know. That's what I was thinking in my head. He wanted to fight over something stupid. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'll use this as an example. All of a sudden, he goes like this. This is a knife, not a gun. Mm-hmm. He goes like this and points a gun straight in my face. And I am staring down a barrel. I think my psychology class told me it's you freeze. It's when someone pulls a gun on you, you freeze or something. I was frozen. I couldn't even move my lips. I was frozen, staring down I was just looking inside of a gun. It was so crazy. It was just shocked. I was so shocked. And I'm staring down the side of a gun. Mind you, there's a bunch of people right here. Someone had knives and all this stuff. And Destiny's to my right, and she's talking. She was talking, and then the whole time I'm like...
It didn't seem real to me. In my head, it literally felt like it was a dream, a bad dream, or a movie. It didn't feel real. And so I was just I was kind of mad because they were trying to rob us for our stuff.
Yeah, she
and
was
I
upset.
was just are you serious? like, you guys they were little kids.
They were like 16,
like,
17,
Are
yeah.
you serious? Like,
She told them, you guys should be going to bed for school tomorrow.
I was like...
While I have a gun in my face, she's making jokes at this guy. And the whole time I was like, I still couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I was just locked in on his gun. And while they're going back and forth, she says she's going to call 911. And
I'm dialing.
She's dialing it. And we're all right here. It's empty. And you just hear there's no connection. Like
it didn't go through.
It just goes. And I'm like, I thought if you call 911,
Yeah.
they ought to. I don't know. It was the weirdest, crazy thing ever. I'm still staring. And next thing you know, someone behind us hits Destiny right there.
Yeah.
And it was like, boom, I snapped. Like, I was like snapped out of it. I'm so happy I did. And it was just like my fight reaction. I snapped out of it. I grabbed her. And the railing's right here. And so she's so short, she's underneath me. So I'm grabbing the railing, and I have her underneath me so no one could hit her anymore. And I remember... I know, Mama. And I remember someone janking on her hair. They were just wanting to go after Destiny. I have no idea why.
They were trying to get my purse.
They wanted
and
her
my
purse
phone.
so bad. And they're yanking on her hair. So they're pulling her hair like this. I get my hand to release the tension. So it's not yanking. I'm just kind of like trying to do that. And then I'm like covering her, doing this. I'm like trying to hit people. I don't know what the heck I was doing. And I remember one of them actually took her phone. And while I'm doing this, I'm able to go under and grab the phone back. It was like, I don't know what was inside of me or something, but I was just like Superman. I was just going through like the motions and doing all this crazy stuff. And I still had her, and they were visibly upset. They weren't getting anything from us. They weren't. Mind you, the gun was to me, so I turned my back to a loaded gun to, you know, do this. I completely forgot about the gun. Destiny was my main priority, my main focus. And next thing I know, I feel like someone knocking on my head, and I know it wasn't them stalking me, because like if you guys are watching this, you guys could not.
Shut up.
You guys could not stalk me. But they were hitting me, and I didn't feel anything. But as I felt this, the guy actually with the gun was hitting me with the gun. And knocked me out cold. I was cold, knocked out. I was on the ground.
I thought he got shot.
Because the sound of it was pretty loud. And so she's screaming bloody murder. And these kids run off. They run off, and you know, we're checking everything. My shirt is like ripped. Mama, you spit up. My shirt is like ripped in half. And they run away. And I remember we're like checking everything, and Destiny's like, my phone. And I was like on the ground. I'm like, I have it. Like, I got your phone still. Like, yes. Looking back, probably wasn't the smartest thing that we fought back. But I was like, I have your phone. And I'm like, oh, they have my phone. So that's what they got out of it, was my phone. Thought it was over. They took my phone. We go our separate ways. We go home safe and sound. Well, that's not what happened. It keeps going on. So Destiny, when I tell Destiny, they took my phone, right?
It was an instant reaction.
Okay.
I'm
like, they took my phone, right? They took my phone, Destiny, okay? Mind you, I'm all beat up, and we're all beat up. And in the distance, you just see these kids running in the sand. For those of you that don't know, sand is super hard to run in. As a cross-country coach, we train people in sand because it's actually really, really hard. So these kids are getting tired, and I see them getting tired, and they're running in the sand, and there's like a straggler behind. Destiny books it after them. And I'm like, dude, these guys just took a gun out on me. What are you doing?
He's
over
yelling
a
at
cell
me.
phone? I'm
Yeah.
like, get your butt back over here. We've only been talking for a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get your butt back over here. What are you doing? Like, it was just craziness, right? She ends up catching the straggler. And the straggler was the one that incited the whole thing, was the one that actually socked her. She catches the straggler, and we took care of, we got her stuff back. Let's just say we took care of stuff. We got our stuff back. The police came. We'll finish the story right there. But yeah, so we got our stuff back. Destiny was crazy, but good thing nothing happened. Cops came. We had to go to court on July 5th. I remember our court day was July 5th. So we spent July 4th together in Santa Monica. I don't know. Everything was just lining up. Like it just lined up for us to be together and hang out. And I remember that time. Sorry. I remember that time. I had to meet her parents because she calls her mom. We just got robbed.
Well, the text never went through that I was in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So
Sarah, she did try to text you, but
when I called my mom, I had to tell her that I was in Santa Monica and we got robbed and beat up. So we were on our way to the hospital.
I remember the cops told her that the cops told her that she should take me to the hospital because they had to do a CT scan on my head because of the gun. And I remember I was in the hospital and I'm like, I love you. If I die.
I know.
I was so dramatic. I was like trying to milk this thing. I was like so dramatic. I was like, I love you if I die. Like, just remember, like, I don't know. I was like, okay, like I would get brownie points off of this forever, which I still do. Like, this is forever, like, protected me. And yeah, so we had to meet her parents. I was so scared because it was like, I brought their daughter into a bad situation. And you want to try to hold her? No, mama. So I was scared. I was like, I brought their daughter in a bad situation. Now I have to explain myself. So we go and we sit down, and her stepdad isn't the friendliest looking. Ruben's intimidating. He's very intimidating. And I remember I was scared out of my mind to explain to them. You want to get her? Sorry. I was scared out of my mind to explain to Ruben what happened. Just because it was a bad, if that was Lila, I would have been so upset at the guy. Why were you guys there? What made you guys, it takes two, but of course you're going to look at the guy. And we sit down on the couch, and I remember Destiny just saying,
He protected me.
She's like, oh my God, it was like a movie. He just protected me. It was like Superman grabbing stuff and, making sure no one touched me. And it was still, and then she's just like making me sound, which I was kind of, it was kind of accurate. I was pretty cool. And she's making me sound like this hero. And I remember I was just like, okay, what are they going to say? And I remember Ruben put his hand out and picked me up from the couch. This is how strong Ruben is. He shakes my hand, picks me up from the couch with one hand and like gives me a hug. And he says, thank you for protecting my daughter. And yeah, after that, we started going out a lot more.
We hung out every day.
I started going to their house a lot more, watching movies with the family. And it just went on from there. That's how the base of our foundation started with that story. Like I said, it probably wasn't the safest thing to do. Would we do it again? We always say, now with our child, obviously we would say, here's our belongings. Nothing's worth it. But if it's just me and Destiny walking around, I don't know if we would give our stuff away. That's just how we are. We're very alike when it comes to things like that. But yeah, that was basically our foundation of how we really got locked in. I remember telling her, you judge people off of their instant reaction. You don't give them. There's obviously times you have time to react. You have time to think about what you're gonna do. But a lot of people's first reaction, how they react to things, shows a lot about themselves. And I told her I don't know why my first reaction, maybe because she was a girl and we were in this bad situation. But I just remember I felt so much for Destiny that I wasn't gonna let anyone hurt her, anyone take her stuff or and that was what I felt in my heart. I'm sorry, Mama.
It's okay, Mama.
That was what I felt in my heart, and it never went away. And we really still think like that. She tells me now to calm down a little bit because my first reaction is always to react. But yeah, that was the basis of us, and yeah, it was crazy. Crazy
Very
story.
crazy.
But we tell this story a lot to people because people ask us all the time, and they always think we're lying. They're like, "There's no way," and I'm like, "I have the court papers to prove it." Like, you know. All right. Well, that was probably a craziest memory that we've had. Going into the proposal story, how it worked was, well, she told me she was pregnant with this little one, and I was already planning the proposal before that. So she told me, she made me a little box and was like, "You're going to be a dad." And I blurted out, "I was going to propose to you in September." And I blurted that out just because it was my first reaction. And she was like, "Why did you tell me?" Like
you could have still done it.
You could have still done it. But I was like, I don't know. Like, now you're pregnant. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just like, so I changed it. And I remember she told me, "The only thing I want when you propose to me is my grandparents to be there." Obviously, all of our immediate family as well, but she really wanted her grandparents to be there. That was like the only thing she said. "The only thing you better do is have my grandparents there." And I said, "Okay." So I was gonna like fly out of a helicopter and do this crazy stuff, but I was like, "Okay, what is a good way to get everyone in town and to be there while I propose?" So I called her grandpa. And I wanted his blessing, and I said, I wanted to surprise everybody. My thing was, I want to surprise the whole family. No one knows about this. There's me and her grandpa. And I said, "Okay, Destiny really wants you guys there. Can you get everyone to come down to Bakersfield? They're up in Oxnard. Can you get everyone to come down to Bakersfield? But don't say why. Just say, well, it was Christmas." So I said, "Just say it's Christmas." At this time, I thought the baby would have already been born by then because her due date was the 17th.
Yes.
Her due date was the 17th. So I was like, "Okay, we'll have the baby. She'll be recovering. This is how I want to do it on Christmas." And this is how I got the ring. I called her grandpa. Grandpa said yes, we could keep this a secret and get everyone to come down for Christmas. And he called me back and said, "Hey, we can't get everyone to come down. Everyone has plans." And I said, "Oh man, okay, well tell them why they need to come down." So he only told those few people why they needed to come down, and we were able to get everyone inside our house for Christmas. She was still super pregnant, like
she was 41 weeks.
She was 41 weeks pregnant, and I was like, "Okay, this is not ideal." But I mean, that's just us. We're very on the fly, very, things go one way, we just make it work. And like that, she's talking through us. And on Thanksgiving prior, I did a prayer, a group prayer, and it wasn't the best prayer. Like, I was kind of nervous, and I think I could have done a better job at the prayer. So my whole plan to propose was, I'm going to get everyone up, and we're going to pray.
Close our eyes
And bow our heads. And while we're doing that, I got the ring out. And one of my last prayers was, I hope Destiny likes her Christmas present. And she opened her eyes, and I was on one knee. And I proposed with her big old belly coming out right here. And yeah, that's how I proposed. Do you have your side of the...
I mean, I just remember, like, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary when he said, like, "Oh, like, I'm gonna do the prayer now," because for Thanksgiving he said like it wasn't his best, and so he said that he was gonna make up for it. And so when he started doing the prayer, like, I had my eyes closed. I was ready to eat. I was starving. I was just ready. And then I opened my eyes and I seen he was down on one knee, and it just really shocked me. I was just shocked. I didn't even give an answer right away.
Yeah, she didn't even say anything. I was like, all right,
I was just
awkward.
like, "Are you?"
This is really awkward.
Like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "So is that a yes?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I was just so shocked. Everyone was shocked. Everyone was crying, and I was crying, and it was just a really. It was
very intimate.
Moment.
It was a very intimate moment. Just close family, and yeah, that's how I proposed. Now for the wedding.
We are very excited.
This wedding is about to be crazy.
Excited.
Crazy wedding. We want a big wedding. That was one thing we agreed on, is that we wanted a big wedding, which was good. You know, a lot of people are like, you could use your money for this, you could use your money for that. We're only gonna get married once.
Yes.
So, you know, we're just, hey, it's gonna be a crazy wedding. We only do it one time. So, and, you know, we like to party. So that's our thing. So we're just like, all right, it's gonna be a fun wedding. I'm excited for the reception. I think the reception is gonna be fun. I'm kind of nervous for when she walks down the aisle, because I'm gonna be crying. Or my allergies are gonna be acting up at the time. It's gonna be in June. You know, my allergies always act up in June. And I want to try to stay, you know, be able to say my vows and stuff. But I feel like I'm gonna be just a big old crybaby, and that's what I'm kind of nervous about. That I don't know. That's what I'm nervous about. But I'm excited for the wedding. The wedding's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like 150 people there.
150 to 200.
150 to 200. You know, we're getting everything already situated right now. We're a year away. Yeah, it's gonna be.
We like to plan ahead.
We like to plan ahead, yes.
Or we usually don't, but this time we're gonna try.
Well, for things like this, we like to plan ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're trying to get all our ducks in a row already. Yeah. And the last question, it says define love. You go first.
I feel like it's really hard to explain. I feel like it's just a feeling that, I don't know, I can't live without him. He's my other half. He's my person. He's my soulmate. We know everything about each other. He knows all my emotions and how I react to them or how I feel, and I feel like that's the closest you can get to someone, is just when you're in that stage. And I don't know, it's just hard to explain.
I would say love is it's a broad subject, but I would like to say it's like a reaction. Like if she's hungry, you know, or we'll stand in the heat while she tries to breastfeed her. If something ever happens to them, dang, allergies. You guys have flowers in here or what? If something ever happens to my girls, I don't think I would be able to have love anymore, because this is love for me. Yeah. Yeah, that's what love is. Love is this. Love is who you see in your heart. I see them in my heart. I see my family in my heart. Yep. Mm-hmm. That is love to me. You know, and nothing would ever be able to, like, if something ever happened to them, knock on wood, you know, I don't think I'd be able to have love anymore, because this is my love. And I hope, you know, you guys out there have your love, or find that love that we have, you know, because it's hard to come around, but when you find it, you don't let it go. You know, you try to keep that love around, and you try to protect that love, and you don't let anyone steal that love's phone. Yeah. And that's our love story. And we're sticking to it. Thank you guys for watching.